I have hosted over 400 events in San Francisco and beyond for the expat women community. But do you know how many people showed up for my first event? 0. Today I'm going to be talking about why not to give up, how not to give up, and to keep moving forward. If you're watching this video for the first time, my name is Naina Kaputi. I'm the founder and CEO of the Expat Woman, and I help women make bold moves abroad. And when I talk about bold moves, I don't mean moving to another country. I talk about and I empower women when they move abroad, how they can step out of their comfort zone, how they can break glass ceilings, build the confidence, the clarity, the community, the collaborations, and find opportunities to build and showcase their personal brand and their visibility. And I'm making bold moves myself by doing these videos on YouTube, filming myself, showing up solo, and I have got building the confidence doing these videos by actually doing walk and talk videos. So every week I shoot a couple of videos on one of my trails out in nature because I love being out, I love walking, and I find that when I walk and talk, I tend to be maybe a little more articulate. I mean, I'm getting there, I'm trying to get more articulate. And today I'm walking in a town called Pleasanton. This is Shadow Creek or Shadow Cliff. It's a park, but it's got this lovely lake. It's a Saturday morning. My daughter's actually running a cross-country meet. This is her first meet. If you watch my previous videos, you might have seen me at some of her practices, or rather seen some of my videos where I shoot while she's practicing. It's Saturday morning. A lot of people are out and about. You might have seen the lifeguards earlier getting ready or getting training in being lifeguards at this lake. There's a swim area, there's a picnic area. Here are some kids getting ready to run or practicing running. I know my daughter's among them. Yeah, unfortunately the sun is really sharp, so I apologize if I'm squinting, but here I am. So let's talk about not giving up, because that's the topic of my video today. Before I do that, if you're watching this video for the first time, please hit the subscribe button, please like, share it with other people, and there's also a notification bell, so if you want to keep seeing videos like this and learn from me, go with me on these little trails or walks or hikes or whatever you call it while I shoot videos, then the notification bell will help you stay updated every time I create a new video. Okay, so it looks like the lake or this little water body is going to end. I might have to get onto the trail. I've been to this place for a picnic, but I've never really walked it. So that's what's also fun about doing these videos, is it's pushing me to discover new places, to walk and talk, and also get some exercise, right? I have my smartphone on. Hopefully it's, yeah, my smartphone is, I don't know if you can see it, not smartphone. See, look at me, my mind is a little blurry right here in the morning, but I have my Apple Watch, not smartphone. I'm recording with my smartphone. My Apple Watch is tracking how many miles I'm walking. So anyway, yeah, and even with these videos, right now on YouTube, I barely get any views. I do put in a certain amount of effort. I've tried to make it as simple as possible with just shooting video on these walk-in talks, doing a little bit of editing, minimal editing, and then uploading it, because I want to continue. I don't want to find excuses to give up because of the low views, the low engagement on my videos right now, because if I make it too complex and complicated, And then after all the time I've spent making these videos and no one's watching them, it's so much easier to give up. So as I continue, I just want to share this tip with you, that make things simple initially, because then it pushes you to keep moving forward. Okay, I've got back on the trail to the lake now. So let me continue. So yes, so no one showed up for that first event, and the funny thing was, it was in a bar. It was called a Press Club in San Francisco. It is a press club. I think they're still around. But I don't drink much, so I've only been back once since then. But I was the only person at my event. I was sitting at one of the tables, and I don't, as I said before, don't really drink much. I didn't want to drink that day, so I ordered a glass of lemonade, and there I was sipping the lemonade, waiting for someone to show up, and no one did. Now it would have been so easy for me to say, looks like the expat women community, the international community is not really interested in these kinds of events, so maybe I should just give up. I should just continue doing something else. But I really believed in what I was doing. I had struggled with finding a community when I moved to San Francisco, an international community. I was very intentional about who my community was for. It was for other women like me who had moved to the San Francisco Bay Area, who were professionals, had careers back in their country, and wanted to continue either in the same profession or do something else, and wanted to connect with other women like them. So that's my first tip for you when you want to give up because things don't go as planned, especially when you move abroad. It's a little harder because you're trying to navigate a new country, you're trying to figure out how things work there. Like, I thought maybe people would like to go to a bar and meet, like, just chat over a drink. It's a nice bar. It was very convenient because it was right next to the train station, but that didn't happen, right? So I thought about the bigger picture, the bigger vision. What was it? It was to bring the international global community together in San Francisco through events. And maybe this wasn't what they wanted. Maybe they didn't want to meet at a bar and network. Maybe they wanted to meet somewhere else. I had to figure that out. And this is where I'll share my favorite quote by Nelson Mandela. He says, "I never lose. I either win or I learn." And that's my second tip or suggestion for you. Once you have the bigger picture in mind, the next step, let's go down here. This is the boat jetty. In fact, I'm going to turn my phone around so you can enjoy the views. Okay, see how pretty it is? Oh, this is like where people fish, I guess. And this, yeah, so this is the water, and the sky is so blue. Yeah, it's really nice. I don't want to go down there completely and disturb them. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to keep the phone this way. Instead of you seeing my face, you can enjoy the park with me and the lake or water body or whatever you call it. And you can see the kids running in the distance. The cross-country meet has started. I will be joining them shortly. My daughter's in 8th grade, so she's in the last group to run, so I still have some time. And there are people setting up for picnics, etc. So yes, my next, yeah, I was talking about Nelson Mandela. He said, "I never lose. I either win or I learn." And that's what I learned from this setback, from this event where no one showed up at this bar to just network and drink. I thought maybe they want more than just meeting up, and I didn't have a very large network at that time. It was small. I don't even remember how I promoted it, but all I knew was I had to find a different way to do it. And so I and I didn't have a large enough community, so I partnered with someone I had met at the Renaissance Center, which is an organization that helps folks start their own business. It was a non-profit. Okay, I'm going to take a little break right now because you can enjoy the lake. There have some people paddle boating. Okay, there are all these little jetties out here. There's a little kid learning to swim. I don't want to focus on it. I just realized I shouldn't have kids in the video. Someone's out there on the boat. So people are, and there's all the kids running. I don't think I'm seeing the parents run with the kids, so I guess they're still warming up and practicing. I'm not sure. But anyway, coming back to my events and how I move forward, I realized I had to do things differently. So I found someone at the Renaissance Center who was also an expat, and we partnered. So I partnered with her and the Renaissance Center. I think it's called Renaissance Entrepreneurship Center. And we partnered and we hosted a joint event. It was actually a fashion event. So we had both expats and non-expats, locals attend the event, be on the panel, etc. So she brought in her community, I brought in whatever small community I had, and I hosted it at a venue. It was actually I think it was, what would you call it, where this guy sold secondhand and new, very fancy art decor, I don't know, handicrafts. Handicrafts the wrong word, but just really beautiful stuff. I had actually met him because he was a client with Upwardly Global, an organization that helps non-immigrant professionals get jobs in the US. So I met him there. I'm showing you this view. I love looking at lakes through the trees. It's always so pretty and peaceful, and the weather's actually lovely. So I had met him through this organization, and it was a good opportunity for him to get visibility, give his organization visibility. And then of course the event was a success. Not of course, I didn't know, but it sold out. And I realized that first of all I needed to collaborate, and secondly I also needed to host events around a specific topic. And that's where Nelson Mandela's quote comes in. I didn't see the first setback when no one showed up to my event as a failure, because I took a step back, because I was really passionate and I really was looking at the bigger picture. I want to grow this community of expat women in San Francisco. I don't want them to be lonely. They're professional women who might have had careers back in their country and are looking to do something here. And I know the first event was a fashion event. I don't know much about fashion. I didn't, and I still don't know. But there were women in the expat community who were interested in fashion, in becoming fashion designers. I also had them, some of them have set up tables at the event, like vendors, and to promote their products and services. And this was monetized. The vendors, the guests, they all paid for the event, and they bought tickets, or they paid for the vendor tables. And this woman, her name is Petra, and I, and of course the Renaissance Entrepreneurship Center, we split the profits. I think we also got all the food donated, so it was very lucrative. And I'm telling you this story because if I had given up after that first zero turnout event at the press club, which was kind of humiliating and embarrassing, I mean, no one really knew besides me and of course my husband, because I had to tell him. And in fact, as wonderful as he is, he said, maybe this idea of yours doing in-person events for expat women may not be so good because no one showed up to your event. And I thought he could be right, but I didn't want to give up. I was determined to do something because I had faced loneliness and lack of a international professional community, so I wanted to make it happen. Anyway, the event with Petra Okay, this is another jetty out here. Reinforced my whole way of thinking. You don't give up. Just like when you're riding a bicycle and you fall up the first 2 times, when you're learning how to ride a bicycle, or anything you do, whether as an international person, an expat, or just a hobby, even learning a new skill at work, starting a business, there's so much trial and error initially. You know, with the expat woman, I've had so many ups and downs. Another example is I had one of the biggest events that I was planning to host, which was the Expat Women Summit in person in March to celebrate International Women's Day in 2020. It was to be held at Yelp, which had a beautiful venue. I had everything covered, the food, the drink, etc. And a few days before a few weeks before, San Francisco shut down, went into lockdown because of COVID. And of course, I had to cancel the event, but I didn't want to cancel it. First, we all thought, oh, it'll just be a month, and then, you know, San Francisco will reopen. But I decided that, so I decided to wait for a month. Some people, of course, canceled tickets. I had to refund tickets. Some sponsors dropped out. But I decided to do it online. No, sorry, I'm getting a little distracted because I just saw the sign saying warning rough trail, but it's still not going uphill, so I'm going to give it a try. Hopefully the camera won't be too bouncy, so that's why I won't have the camera on me, because you'll see me going breathing heavily and going, you know, panting and stuff. But anyway, let's go down this rough trail, and hopefully it's not terrible, otherwise I'll turn back. So yes, I was going to host the event in a month's time, and the venue, Yelp, said yeah, and some of my guests said we'll wait. And then of course a month happened, and it became very apparent that the lockdown was going to continue, and so I moved it to virtual events. So again, it was turning a problem or a setback or, you know, challenge into something else, like reinventing the wheel or pivoting. And I'm so glad I did that. I had never hosted virtual events before, but I'm glad I did it, because the pandemic and the lockdown, COVID, whatever you call it, went on for years. And I could then start doing online events. And one of the biggest success was that I was able to reach a global audience. I had hosted events in San Francisco, Hong Kong, New York, India, Canada, etc. before that, but they were all individual events. I couldn't bring everyone together, and now suddenly I was able to bring women together from across the globe, because the summit became an international summit, and I was also able to bring in speakers from different countries. So again, a setback turned into something very successful. It took a long time, of course. Initially, I had a lot of learning that to do with hosting virtual summits. I did take a course in how to host virtual summits, and then of course trying to grow my audience. I did use LinkedIn a lot to connect, to promote, etc. But then my events, you know, the virtual events took off, and I was hosting them regularly. I got more confidence I'm going to turn around here because looks like the path is blocked. I wanted to show you this trunk under the water. Looks kind of interesting. I think it broke away from this maybe when we had some strong winds. So anyway, so that's what happened. Again, I could have said, oh, in-person events have, you know, stopped temporarily, so I'm not going to do anything. But I was eager to provide the guests who had signed up for my in-person summit to still hear from the speakers, still have the opportunity to connect. And now, of course, I it went up a level, because not only did they connect with other San Francisco guests and speakers, but also expat women in other countries. So that's my second tip. You need to pivot sometimes when things don't work out the way you like them to. Instead of giving up, figure out, what should I do? How can I do different? Now, sometimes you could just continue doing what you were doing a couple of times. For me, I was lucky I had that opportunity to partner with someone, and I did reach out to her. It wasn't like, it fell into my lap. You've got to be intentional, and you've got to make that effort. You've got to reach out, you've got to ask for support, help, take a step back, maybe learn some more, take a break. But that's very important. The third tip is be patient with yourself. Everything in life is a marathon, not a sprint. And some people, maybe they get it right off the bat, but we don't know their backstory. We don't know the reasons for them being successful. Like, I sometimes see other YouTubers and their channels just take off, but maybe they were intentionally growing their YouTube channel for years. Maybe they already had that target audience on some other platform, and they moved them to YouTube. So the same thing, just like with my events, YouTube has been a struggle for me, both in terms of me creating videos regularly, showing up on video, speaking. I'm trying to get more comfortable with speaking with my thoughts, and that's why I do walk and talk videos, because I feel I don't need to edit out the mistakes when my brain freezes, when I repeat myself. I'm showing up as my messy, unpolished, imperfect, but authentic self. And that's what you need to do. I did another video where I also said, just start. Don't wait for clarity. Sorry, not for clarity, but you don't have to wait for clarity. It becomes clearer when you do things. Like with my events, I get clearer and clearer. This doesn't work. Not many people showed up, so I'll do this. The same thing with the YouTube videos. Maybe this is not the content people in my network, my target audience want. So maybe I'll try this, but I have to do a number of videos before I can be absolutely sure. So sometimes you have to do something several times, or several iterations, whatever the word is, before you can figure out what it is. And all along the way, you've got to be patient with yourself, take care of yourself, take breaks. Don't let the failures and setbacks make you depressed. Go on walks, hang out with friends, go to the spa. Just have fun and relax and enjoy what you're doing. That's very important. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, when you have setbacks, and again, I'm talking about the intentional things. Sometimes you have to do things you don't enjoy doing. There's so many things in life, and especially when you move abroad, there's so much stuff that needs to get done, and you have to keep moving forward. But I'm talking more professionally. If you're starting a business, starting a podcast, a YouTube channel, writing content, even on platforms like LinkedIn, sometimes you don't get any engagement. But then you kind of figure out, what do I need to do? What kind of content? And like I tell a lot of my LinkedIn clients, only 1% of people are active on LinkedIn. And when I say active, I mean in terms of leaving comments, creating their own content, even liking your posts. So you also need to figure that out when you're beating up on yourself and trying to figure out why no one's showing up, why no one's engaging. Is the audience still watching my videos but they're not liking them? Are people reading my content but just not commenting? Maybe my events are at the wrong time, the wrong day, the wrong city. Just some examples. And finally, my final tip for you to help you not give up and to keep moving forward is celebrate your wins. Your small wins, your big wins, especially your small wins. For me, my small wins were, and now I'm going to the parking lot again. For me, the small wins could be like this these YouTube videos. I might not be getting a lot of views. My videos still have a long way to go with getting better. but I'm shooting them, I'm editing them, like just a few edits, and I'm uploading them. My goal is to upload 2 YouTube videos a week, and I'm trying to stick to that goal. Now sometimes maybe things happen and I may not be able to do that, but I'm going to try, and every time I upload a video I'm going to celebrate it. So that is what I mean by celebrating your small wins. It could be something really small, maybe even writing the title for my video, doing some research. Anything for you could be leaving a comment on someone else's post on LinkedIn initially, like getting comfortable with showing up on a platform and creating content through your comments. So that's the final tip. So I just will go through them again. I'll start with the last one. Celebrate your small wins. The second one, I'm trying to remember now. I don't have a script in front of them. So celebrate your small wins, learn from your mistakes, and then move forward. Either pivot or do it again and again till you get comfortable and you figure that out. What were the other ones? I can't remember them. You'll have to watch, obviously you're watching this video, so you will have a better idea what else I said. And then there it is. So I'm going to turn the camera back to me, and hopefully I'm in frame. So thanks so much for watching. I just want to tell you, do not give up. Hopefully this video has inspired you. Just keep the momentum going. Just start small. As I said, celebrate your wins, learn from your mistakes, put yourself out there, maybe even find a community that'll support you, because sometimes when you do it alone, it can be hard. And that's why I created the Expat Woman membership, because I wanted to create this community of women who can support each other when they put themselves out there, who can be accountability partners, who can cheer each other on. I'll share a link to the Expat Woman membership in the comments. Let me know, have you ever had to give up on something? Have you given up on something? And if you haven't, what was something you did to keep you going? Share in the comments. And actually the Expat Woman membership link will be in the description, along with some of the videos I spoke about today. And again, if you like this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and I will see you soon at my next YouTube video. Bye. Thanks for watching.